take a modified version, take some time out from the session, really look after ourselves, especially in this day and age at the moment where we might have had quite a sedentary 24 hours, day, few days, week even. You know, you just need to make sure that your brain and your body is connecting well before we start to really challenge ourselves, because we can lose coordination, we can lose that connection if we're just kind of sitting at, I'm sure none of you are doing this, of course, if you're just sitting at home and watching TV. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, sometimes, all right? Otherwise, I hope you all have a lovely session. We'll start on our back in Savasana. So it is a bit colder, isn't it, than we'd generally be expecting on a day in May. So wrap up nice and warm. Make sure that you've got cats nearby you, pets, anything to keep you warm. Socks, jumpers, whatever you got, okay? And we're in good time, all right? So we're not going to have any technical issues this week, I'm sure of it. And therefore, we can take our time on our backs to get comfortable now. Hope you'll have a lovely session. Okay. So as always, we want to take our corpse pose in a way which feels nourishing, which feels like we can get comfortable. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, you know, don't put up with it, right? Want to make those adjustments, get those blankets, nothing wrong with realizing that you need to make those changes now. And hopefully we're all getting used to taking corpse pose in this slightly altered new way of doing yoga. And some people were, I think, saying that they were finding it a bit strange to get to get really comfortable when they're not in a room full of other people doing the same thing. But you might be realizing now that this has all become a little bit easier. We can really just commit to allowing the floor support us, knowing that it's completely supporting us, right? It's not like 98%, 99, 99.9. Completely supported. So all tension in your body, you really can just let it go. All you need to do now is breathe. Air enters into your body, and then your belly reaches up to the sky. As it leaves, belly falls back to the earth. Now we're going to just try seeing if we can let go of any control over the breath. It just is as it is. We'll spend a minute or so in silence. Starting to inhale now through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. We'll see whenever we can, unless specified otherwise, throughout the class to breathe like this. When you inhale through your nose, you clean that air around you and also warm it up, especially on this colder May day. Clean the air around you, you freshen it up. Noses are for breathing in, mouths are for eating in. Starting to really get into those corners of the lungs, right at the bottom now. Pulling in all that lovely air around you, expanding, challenging the lungs to really work. As you exhale, making sure you squeeze out the air. We can help ourselves do this by really parting the lips. And you can even just sigh it out. Listen to the sound of your breath. It's giving you lots of helpful feedback. Listen to it now. Listen to it throughout your yoga practice. And then on the next inhale, we'll pull our knees off the floor, maybe one at a time if you have a tight back, and hug your shins into your chest. Taking a little moment to find something you appreciate about yourself. It could be as simple as the effort it took to come to this class this evening. I think we all find from time to time it takes a bit of an effort to come onto the mat. I'm sure there's lots of other things you can think of as well. And inhale, take your nose up towards your knees. When your exhale comes, gently lowering your head back to the earth. Then keeping your knees glued together, we'll draw some circles round clockwise with the knees. So we're really trying to keep these knees touching as we go through this. So you'll notice that the circles you're taking are really, really small in comparison to where if your knees were wide apart, and then we'll be able to take really big circles, big surface area, right? So it's going to feel a bit like for some of you that you want to work your body a little bit more intensely. Let's see if you can hold off and just save that energy. Let's turn those circles around the other direction. Doesn't matter which way you were going before, just spin it around now. And then we want to take our socks off. We have socks on, unless they're sports socks. Take them off. And then placing your feet down onto the floor. We're going to prepare to come into a bridge now. First of all, though, we're going to take our head off the mat, take a little look at where our feet, knees, and hips are in line. We're also going to reach around and see if we can touch the ankles. Reach from one side to the other. So keep looking at where the knees are, and then coming back with your head to the floor. We're going to keep our feet, knees, hips in line. Now you've had a good look at where they are. Let's keep them in that nice alignment as we then inhale to come up for one very, very simple bridge. Squeeze at the top. We'll hold for 5, 4. Keep looking up. 3, 2, 1. Take your hands underneath your bum so that as you exhale, your bum comes onto the top of your hand. And then take your feet off the floor. We'll take some flutter abs here. So feet are about 45 degrees from the earth. And then we move them forwards and backwards, just about a meter or so at the furthest point when they're away from each other. Backwards and forth, backwards and forth. And then lower your feet back down. Keep your thumb on your hands. Get your breath back. And then we'll inhale to come up and feet come up. And taking another few flutter abs here. Forwards and backwards. And then lower feet back down. Catch your breath back. Next time we're going to come into scissor legs. So we'll just cross the legs to the outside, so they're far away from each other. Bring one foot underneath the other, back and forth. Over the other side next time. Okay, here we go. So feet are very close to the mat, straight down the top of the mat. Widen the legs apart from each other, and then cross one ankle under the other, backwards and forwards. Here we go. And then settle your feet back down. We're going to come for one more round here in just a second. Couple of breaths. And here we go, last round. Scissor abs. Very nice. Take your feet, knees, hips back in line. We're going to come up for another bridge here. Inhale to come up, and then take your hands away. So then as you exhale to come back down, thumb comes back directly onto the floor. And then hug your shins back into your chest. And please go ahead and take a few breaths now in any movement you'd like to do from this position. So you can take another bridge, or take a happy baby, or just some circles with the knees. Lots of lovely options. Yeah, inviting in all this heat that we've created in that vigorous work to kind of play around with that energy now. Okay, good. And then bring your knees back to touch, and please roll onto one side in the fetal position. If you have low blood pressure, you're going to roll to your left-hand side. Don't know if it's regular or if it's high, you roll to your right-hand side. We'll take a couple moments here. This fetal position is, I think, a really good reminder, if we stay here for a couple of breaths, that we use our transitions in the class as much of a valuable piece of the puzzle in our session as anything else. Let's just take a moment to commit to that now throughout our session. We transition from one asana to another. We do so mindfully and okay, great. And then lift yourself back up off the mat and take a cross-legged position of your choice. You'd like to sit on something to get that nice straight spine. Inhale your hands up over your head into prayer and looking straight ahead. And then take a little look up at the thumbs. And then take your hands down in front of you onto the mat. And we'll find a very gentle forward fold. You might not curl your back at all. You might just stay with this fairly straight spine. It depends really, especially how your back is doing, lower back in particular. I think a lot of people are finding their lower backs are getting quite tight, especially with lack of exercise, walking, sitting down too much, maybe working from home in positions where your computer is not set up ideally, like maybe it is at work. That's why we're coming through these postures super mindfully at the moment. How are we breathing? inhale to come up. And then exhale your right ear over to your right shoulder. Keep your hands where they feel comfortable, like they're supporting you. And breathe into this vast open space between the other ear and the shoulder. Allow gravity to be your assistant here. If you'd like to take your right hand and place it outside of the head, you're not going to tug down. Definitely don't tug down. You simply allow, again, a bit of gravity and this pressure, all this weight rather through the hand. Get a bit of a stretch. If we want to take it a bit further, you're going to tilt your head and your gaze down towards your right knee. Release the hand first, and then inhale, take your head up. And then exhale, left ear to the shoulder. If you'd like to take your hand, left hand, onto the outside of your head, and please do so. And then maybe gazing towards the left knee. Remove the hand from your head first, and then inhale your head back. Some people got a bit excited there and came up early. And then taking a couple of looks over one shoulder to the other. And then taking a couple of looks from the sky to the floor. Crossing the legs over the other way now. If you have some hip injury or some reason that you don't want to do that, then that's fine. Just keep your legs crossed the way they were. Then we'll take a couple of circles forward. Fingers on shoulders. Start small circles. Getting bigger now. That size of a football. Getting bigger, size of a beach ball. Getting bigger, size of a small Swiss ball. And now elbows are thinking about even touching. Maybe they touch a couple of times. And then give your arms a shake. All right, let's go back the other way now. So one of the good aspects about doing this little sequence is you have to really control this energy we might have that wants to just go, yeah, big circles, wow, I got this. All right, so you have to start small and get bigger. So coming around that size of a basketball. Now we're carrying bigger size of a beach ball. Maybe the size of the Swiss ball now, like there's gym balls they use in the gym, they sit on. And maybe elbows come close to touch. and then release. Let's take our arms on an inhale at 45 degrees from the head to this point here. Palms down. Exhale, palms face upwards, 45 degrees from the floor. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Look at the thumbs this time. Exhale, follow the thumbs down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale and exhale. Let's take a couple more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And follow the thumbs down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale. Now let's take a little moment. Close the eyes. And then take a moment's rest if you like to take something on now. Then we'll take our left leg out straight in front of us. And we draw forward with the heel. I'm going to see if that makes the toes point towards the sky. It probably does quite naturally, right? So some of us, when we say toes point upwards, that's a bit harder to kind of get to grips with. We've got this activation in the straight leg. My right hand comes behind me, and this hand will feel like it's supporting you. All right, so not kind of here, taking a big, nice circles, we're really bracing this right knee here. And that's going to help us get some leverage, twist towards the right. You can have a bit more space if we're finding this back hand is too close to our spine. You can take it down the mat further. And like yoga is really all about intention, I think, isn't it? So intention is to feel really tall on an inhale without looking up. And on an exhale to twist. If you don't feel like that's happening, it's all good. It's just the intention. As we move through now to transition, let's do so and treat this transition with respect and honor. Taking the left heel, left buttock, forward with this front angle. The left hand comes behind us and we hug, raise knee. Philippa, I think if you take your hand down towards the back of your mat just a couple of inches, yeah, and then maybe come up onto your fingertips. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, good. And then inhaling to come back around, and we'll find ourselves in a tabletop position, please. Take a couple of sways from left to right, taking the head to the opposite direction of where the bum's going. So much so, you may be able to peer around and look at the feet as you're moving through from one side to the other. Now come back to the center, move your head and your bum in the same direction. way, moving the same way, the head. Now go back to opposite ways. For example, bum goes to the right, head goes to the left. And then come back to center and move the same direction. Okay. And then come back into some stillness, looking straight down. You want to maybe tuck the chin just a little bit, not so much that you're kind of peering right back towards your feet, just a little bit so that we're getting this nice length in the spine. We're going to fire everything up now. We'll push into the floor at the tops of our feet. We're going to test to see if we're really doing that now, not just kidding ourselves, right? We're going to take our knees literally 2 inches off the floor, literally just a couple of inches. And then lower back down. We'll inhale, take our right knee up and out, look at the raised knee, lower back down. Good. Inhale, left side, look at the knee. Lower back down on an exhale. Inhale, right side. Lower back down. Inhale, left side. Lower back down. Inhale, right. Lower back down. Inhale, left. Exhale to lower. Inhale, right. Exhale to lower. Inhale, left. Exhale to lower. This time we're going to hold for 5 seconds. Inhale up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale down. Inhale up left side. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. Inhale. Right hand reaches up and out. Look past the fingertips. Exhale to come back down. Inhale up left side. Exhale to come back down. Inhale up right. Exhale back down. Inhale left. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale. Inhale left. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale. Inhale left. Exhale. This time we're going to hold for 5. Inhale up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we come down, we're going to thread the needle. This hand is going to come underneath the body, in between front hand, left knee, right ear comes down. Now hopefully, we're getting our hips over our knees. This is like really hard to do. Okay, I often find this one quite hard myself. I look up I get adjusted by someone, and I realize when it's too far forward or back. Just try your best. Look at the camera if you can. If you can't on that side, don't worry. Just check in at the other side. Inhale to come back up. Place the right hand back onto the mat. Inhale, left hand comes up. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As we come down, thread the needle through. Here comes down to the mat. Inhale to come back up, please. And then we'll start a little flow now. So inhaling, drop the belly, raise it up at the sky, exhale back into it. Taking a couple more like this, move through at your own breath. You can be expressive if you'd like to as you move through. You know, you can catch a little moment where there's no breath and sway around like we were doing before. And then on the exhale, curl your toes, push your hips back and up. And then we need to create a bit of space between hands and feet. And we're in first. Now, not done much stretching on the backs of the legs. So take it easy. You need to bend your knees, that's fine. It's nice activation through the palms. Allow the crown of the head to point down. And then we'll all lower knees down. Take left foot outside of the left hand. If you want to create a bit more space between the feet, you can draw backwards a bit more. We'll take a couple of rocks on an inhale, exhale, rocking backwards. It's kind of like nice preparation for some lunge work. It's not trying to particularly straighten the front leg. That's why we're putting some pressure through the foot, all four corners, combining the breath with the movement. Lower left knee back to knee in line with the right, and step right foot to the outside of the right hand. And then again, if you want to adjust the space, the distance as well. Inhale forward, exhale back. Take a little mental note of any differences in tightness on one side or the other. Don't judge it either, you know, just kind of see what's happening. Creating some nice body awareness. That's all it is, it's not judging. Well done, everyone. Couple more of these. And then finish. When you're on an inhale, take the knees back in line, and you need to work your knees back. We'll come into this half plank, so we're strong in the maybe basically this area here is active and pulling inwards. And I'm not just kind of going, oh, my upper back as well. My neck is long, maybe slight tuck in the chin, kind of calculating the distance I need from hands to knees. So I can lower down now. Yes, and then chin. Hands are underneath the shoulders and maybe slightly further back. Inhale, push into the tops of your feet gently as well. As you inhale, come up, maybe slightly tuck the chin as well. And then exhale, we're pushing bum back to heels, hips back and up. And we're in another downward dog. Welcome this heat into your system now. Welcome it and play with it as well. Play with the energy, bend the legs, have a sway. You can do a similar sequence to the one we were doing in tabletop, where you kind of just allow your bum to go one way, the head to the other, handle the legs. And then find a moment of stillness. And inhale, come through to a plank. This is where we might realize that our hands and feet needed a bit more distance. Exhale, come back. Down. Inhale, come through to a plank. And we'll hold this plank here. And we'll take an inhale to rock forward slightly. So crown of the head is reaching towards the top of the mat. Exhale, heels go to the back. And just keep moving through at your own breath now. This is tough work. Make no mistake about it. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhale, back. Try to keep your bum high, please. like we're around a Swiss ball or something. And then just lower your knees down to the floor. Take a little moment out. And just take a little moment out, have a little sip of water as well if you want to. So all bodies are different, right? And some of us have got lots of experience I can see in gyms and doing planks and stuff like that. So this can be taught in lots of different ways, taking a plank and the techniques in it, and totally respectful of the fact that you might have learned this in another way. My suggestion is, for safety's sake, is that you come like higher rather than lower if you're not sure. It's one of those things where it's like, if I'm not sure, I'll come up a little bit more. So I've actually got a bit of a kind of circular movement underneath here. So much so that how I learned it when I was doing my personal training qualification and also into teaching yoga, is that you're like over a ball, okay? Like there's this giant Swiss ball that you're over. Like, you know, when you're practicing those circular elbows and you're saying, kind of like a Swiss ball, right? It's a bit like that. You're nice and high in hips. Because you might get away with doing this kind of thing. You might not. Your body might not like it. That's why we say, not sure, come up higher and stay safe. Okay? Let's find another plank again, please. And then everybody just lower yourself all the way onto the mat. See if you can come down without taking your knees down. And then just take a little moment out. Hands come onto the mat, forehead comes onto the hands. And enjoy that pressure through your forehead. Might feel pretty good. And then take your hands underneath your shoulders, maybe just behind. Inhale, up your chin, look up. Baby cobra, exhale, push yourself back, down facing dog, and then practice a couple of times stepping to the front of the mat. We're not going to step towards the front of the mat, just to practice. So take one heel up, down, left leg comes up and comes up, and then we're rocking through, hugging that knee that's underneath close to our body, stepping back and then just pick the other side. Keep moving through like this. Another way to imagine this is that the leg that's coming underneath, that heel is coming close to your buttock. So that's another way to kind of know which muscles you need to use there. Okay, good. Come back into the downward dog. And then either stepping up in a lunge to the front of the mat or stepping up small steps. Feet are a bit apart so that they're underneath our hips. And then curling up to stand on an inhale. Bringing our feet to touch. Right fingers point to the mat. Left come up towards the ceiling and then lowering over to the right. Inhale to come back up. Left fingers down. Right up. Here we go. And then inhale to come back up. Take your hands to your hips and take your right heel up off the floor. And then take right knee in line with the hip, up off the floor. and then hugging in. Give it a nice squeeze. We'll be combining this with an up over later on in the session. All will be revealed. Tuck your navel a little bit as well, so this area here, not collapsing forwards. And then lowering down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Softly placing it down. Practice the softness through the foot. Good. Round through right foot, right leg, inside of the feet as well as the outside. Take the left heel up off the floor. And then rising up towards the sky. Grabbing the shins, squeezing it in, tuck the navel in as well. And then we'll lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Softly placing it back to the floor. And then we'll come into a little flow from here. Bend your knees. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, place your hands on your hips. We'll take this modified version first. Lowering down to the floor. Flat back as long as you can. Then take your hands off your hips. When your back starts to curl, crown of the head points towards the floor. Inhale to flat back. Look straight down. Neck is an extension of the spine. Place your hands down onto the mat. Step back with the right leg. Lower right knee to the floor, uncurl back toes, and then take your fingers out towards the sky. Take your fingers, your hands back either side of the front foot. Left knee comes back in line with the right. You might need to walk your knees back a little bit before you then lower your chest in between your hands. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push back, down and facing the right. Push through the right heel, raise your left leg up, step it to the front of the mat. Right foot comes to meet left, softly stepping it up, and then curling up, feet together this time, to rise to stand. Bend your knees. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, come up, flat back again. Go for 3 of these. Exhale, back down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to come down onto the floor. Step back with the left leg this time. Lower that back knee down. Uncurl the toes, fingers up towards the side. Right ahead. And then hands down either side of the front foot. Knees back in line. Maybe walking a bit further down the mat. And then lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. We'll take a couple of breaths. And push left heel down, right leg comes up, and we step it up out of the mat. Left foot comes to meet right. Curl up. One last time with the curl back here. We can start getting into some more personalized ones in just a moment. Here we go. You can slow your way down either way you'd like now. Either that modified version or hands wide, you try out any other version you know to be better. Okay, here we go. Bend your knees. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your palm, step back with the right leg. Lower right knee down. Inhale, come up with the hands. This time, maybe take a little back bend. Look up at the sky. And then hands down either side of the front foot. Curl your back toes. Take that back knee off the floor. Left foot comes to meet right. And then lower it down, your choice. Either knees, chest and chin, cobra, or chaturanga. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog, and then push through the right heel, left leg raises. Step it up to the front. Back heel comes down. You're going to rise to warrior one, but first of all, take your hands to your hips. Rise up, hands on hips. Inhale, come up. And then fingers up to good, everyone. Take your hands back to your hips, back heel comes up off the floor, softly step it up to the front of the mat. Here we go again. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Flat back. Exhale. Plant the palms. Step back with the left leg. Lower the left knee down. Uncurl the back toes. Inhale, hands up towards the sky. And maybe take that back bend this time. And then hands either side of the front foot. Curl your back toes. Left knee back up off the floor. Right foot comes to meet left, lowering down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. This time push down. Left heel, right leg up. Steps up. Back heel comes down. Hands onto hips. Inhale to rise up. And then hands to sky. And then very softly we step it up around the mat. And we'll take literally 10 seconds rest. So if you want a sip of water, quickly grab it now. And coming back to the front of the mat. Here we go again. All right, let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant palm, step back with the right leg. Keep that back knee off the floor. Inhale to rise. Keep that back knee bent if you need to, significantly. The back doesn't like it. And then hands down either side of the front foot. Left foot comes back to meet right. Lower down. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, push back, down facing. First through the right heel, raise the left leg up. Step to the front of the mat. Back heel comes down, we rise to a warrior one. Settle down, we'll be here for a couple of breaths. You want to take a little back bend here as well. Take the gaze upwards. And looking straight ahead to transition to warrior two. You might want to increase the distance between your feet. I should be able to see my large toe front here. If I can't, it might mean this front knee is too lean towards the center. And push down the inside of the front foot. Also push down this back foot into mat. I try and keep my hips and knees folded. And then take your back heel up off the floor. We'll see if we can catch this back shin as we step it up front of the mat. Squeeze it in. And then lower it down. Same thing, the other side now. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale to fall. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your palm, step back with the left leg. That back knee off the floor. Remember, keep a bend in it though if you need to. If you inhale, come up. Into a standing lunge. And then hands down each side, front foot. Right foot comes back to meet left. Lower down. If you're taking a cobra, you push your pubic bone into the earth a little bit as well. Most of the strength comes in from your upper back. And then exhale, pushing back palms to heels. Hips back and up. Downward facing dog. We'll catch a little breath here. And then push left heel down, right leg rises, stepping it up, front of the mat. Left heel comes down. Prepare to rise for a warrior one. Take that back then. And then gazing straight back ahead again as a transition, that warrior two. Remember to utilize the soles of your feet, right? Push them downwards. You'll find that helps with this kind of feeling, this rising energy as well. And then you've got energy shooting out through opposite fingertips, equal and opposite. And then we're going to come back, round, back heel comes up, toes point forward, and set it up. That back shin, squeeze it in. And then lower it down gently. We've just got one more flow on each side now. Let's take a couple of moments, really flood your body full of energy. Couple of inhales and exhales. Shake it out, feel loose. Let's do it. Run your abs. And inhale, bend knees, arms up, exhale, fold. Taking a little moment in the fold, maybe grab your elbows, take a little sway. Back to a moment of stillness, and then inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, step back with the right leg. Inhale, come up to lunge. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, left leg and lower down. Exhale. After doing your back bend, going back into the down, facing dog. Push the right heel, left leg raises up, step it up, front of mat. Back heel comes down, and rising up to another warrior one. And floating our way through back, warrior two. Then we're going to turn that back heel round so we can catch that back shin. All right, here we go. Step it up. From here, you can stay. If this is enough of a challenge, or you keep your right hand on your shin, your left hand reaches up and over. So a little bit like if your right hand is down, your feet were like this. Take a little bit of a different angle. People can't see me there. And then turn back around. Hug the left hand onto the right shin and then step it back, briefly taking a standing lunge. And then back heel comes down. And we'll have a little play around in this warrior two. I want you to just feel comfortable here. You can kind of just move the hands around. We wanted to take a couple of those sequences that we do. We inhale, hands up and down, all those peaceful bows and arrows. You can just try practicing taking the palms face the ceiling and then get back down again. See how this energy feels. You might like some stillness as well. Like to practice this hugging as well, gives the arms a little rest as well. That's just embrace yourself as well sometimes. Give yourself a little thanks for all this tough work you're doing. And then we're going to really super softly come back around and then take your hands either side of your front foot. Take left foot back to meet right. Right foot comes to the top of your mat and then inhaling to rise up to lunge. Hands come down either side of the front foot. Right foot comes back to meet left. Lowering that. Inhale, either cobra or up dog. Exhale, pushing back. Down, facing left. Push the left heel. Raise that right leg up. Step it up. Take the back heel down. Take a little look at the alignment as you rise it up. And here you go. You're warrior one. Looking straight ahead, transitioning back into that warrior two. And then we're going to catch this back shin again. Squeeze it in. This time it's left hand stays raised, right hand reaches up and over. Take the raised hand back onto the shin, give yourself a squeeze. Then step it back down the mat again. And then we'll find another warrior two. And just like on the other side, I'd like you to become aware of all these energies through your feet, through your hands. You can, for some reason, just kind of move them around. You can take a warrior two to the back of the mat and then again to the front. Some of these nice sequences that we all practice. Bows and arrows, peaceful bows and arrows, right? Here's non-violence that we practice in yoga, always peaceful. And then we'll step it up to the front of the mat. Make some nice space between your feet. So you're not having to think about balancing as you point your palms up to the sky, hug your elbows in together. And we'll just take a little body scan. So this isn't simply about taking a rest. Although this is definitely more restorative than the other postures, it's still strong in our navel. We're not collapsing forwards or retracting our shoulders. We've got this sense of aliveness, wakefulness, but we're also finding some stillness. Open your eyes, take that last moment to rest. And well, take a little sip of water if you want to. And we've got time to come into a little squat as well, just because I think they're fun, but also healthy for your body. This must be done often. Keep those mechanisms in place. Strong ankles, flexible, and working glutes back to the legs. So what I'm doing here is I'm just demonstrating how I can use my props. You can come straight into the squat, you know what you're doing, ladies, if you'd like to do that. And you can do this in any way which is going to prop up your ankles if you need that support, right? So we've all got hopefully something we can fashion around us. If you'd like to pop your heels on there, a little bit of an opening in the toes. Hands are in prayer when we come down to squat. The hands in prayer will help us. Don't underestimate the power of your push with your palms together. You don't need your support under your heels. Take it away. And if this feels a bit uncomfortable, right, just kind of embrace that. As long as it doesn't feel painful, there's obviously a very big difference. Possibly feeling it around here, your ankles, your shoulders, collapsing downwards, push your hands in together. If you'd like to take this further, you can take your right hand onto the mat, and left hand reaches up. You don't have to be in any particular position. Maybe about 45 degrees-ish. Look past the fingertips. And then swap around, take a little twist around the other way. Need to come out, of course, and it doesn't feel right, please do so. Hand back down with the opposite hand. And you can also take the bind from here. So wrapping, for example, is left. We'll start with our left hand wraps around, right hand comes back round and interlaces with our fingers here. Now, we don't want to just kind of fall onto the left knee or left foot. If you can push it down with both your feet. Take a swap round to the other side. And then coming back through. So to come out this safely, hands behind us, lower your bum down. I think the legs deserve a little bit of a rest. Take them out in front, give them a little thump or two into the back. And then we'll bring our feet into a prayer position. We've just got nice closing asanas now before we take our outro pose. All the tough work is done. Just enjoy now this nice sensations you've created in your body. You've done all the hard work. I always just been a guide, just do all the hard work yourself. So let's take a little moment to be really grateful and thankful for ourselves for turning up this evening and committing to the moment, working hard. These aren't easy seconds. You can go ahead, close your eyes, cut your toes, hands, take a moment to say some nice things to yourself. Drop your knees up if they don't feel good as well. Open your eyes and we'll gently ease the knees back together. We'll take our windscreen wipers on our back here. So taking yourself gently down. Feet are nice and wide to each other. And lowering knees on an exhale from one side to the other. Sorry, exhaling down, inhaling up. Then come back to the center of your shins into your heart. Inhale your nose, your knees. And then take right leg back down the mat, your opposite leg raised. And then take the left foot outside of the right knee. We'll come into a gentle twist, lowering knee over to the right. This right hand can help this knee down. It's not tugging it down though, it's just giving it a little bit of guidance. And don't worry if this knee doesn't get anywhere close to the mat. It's absolutely fine. Just feel a nice twist happening, looking straight up. These poses can be quite intense. Remember, although they're intense, this will still feel hopefully like they're releasing. If they feel uncomfortable in any way, it doesn't feel right, please don't put up with it, right? Safety first. Taking another couple of breaths here. And then we'll ease our way back out. Lots of time to transition now. Before we straighten left leg out, right foot comes to the outside of the straight leg, around where that knee is. Doesn't have to be in the exact same position for all of us. And then start to guide the knee over to the left. Last couple of breaths here. And then when we come out, we'll come into corpse pose. Personally, I like to take a little bridge when I come out of this. It's just what my body likes. You can go straight into corpse pose. We'll take another little corpse pose posture if you'd like to. And of course, generally speaking, we'd like to lie on our backs, but if you'd like to sit up, like to lie on your front, if you like to lie in fetal position, then please, you're welcome to do one of those options. I'll invite you wherever you are to just notice how you're breathing. Making a little pledge to yourself now. It'll take literally just a few minutes. That's all it is. To dedicate it to yourself so that you can give to others, because we really do need this time to recharge, re-energize, so that we can help our loved ones, be there for our family, our friends, our colleagues, anyone else who needs us. All you need to do now is just breathe. You might even notice that you are not even, in a sense, breathing right now. It is happening to you. Your body is just there, taking in everything it needs effortlessly, and releasing everything it doesn't effortlessly. Taking a little moment before we move to scan the body, notice what's happening, and then lightly, right, without taking it too seriously, let's move our body around, fingers and toes, hands and feet, arms and legs. Picking up the pace a little bit with every breath. And then we'll all invite our knees into our chest. Biggest hug of this class. Inhale, nose to knees. Exhale, head back to the floor. Take a couple of little check-ins at the outside of the back. Roll around left to right. And then rolling onto one side. Remember, left side, please, if you have that low blood pressure. And then inhaling to come up into a seated position. We'll take our hands to prayer and take 3 inhales and go. You're all unmuted now. So let us all hear the sound of your breath. Okay, let's do it. Inhale now. There we go. Inhale. Nice. Last one, biggest one. Inhale. My heart to your heart. Light in you honors the light in all you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a lovely class. So it was really good to take that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ciaran.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think what we need to do is when people are saying something at the end of a session is when you're saying something, you can just like raise your hand or something. Something like people saying thanks, and I want to individualize my response to them. I don't know who said it always. Anyway, you can also just leave in silence as well. Anyway, is fine. I'm not offended. I'll just presume that you liked it if you didn't say anything.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Lindsay. Take care of yourself as well. Thank you.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Kenny. Take
Bye.
care. Best. Andrea's still with Tracy here still.
Bye.
Bye, Tracy.
Bye.
Nice to see you. All the best.
Bye.
Andrea, I can hear you. Can't see you. Take care. Good night, Andrea.